It's the Green Man here, and we're going to have a look at a handheld blower, and it's the Echo PB251, and here we go. Hi YouTube, it's the Green Man, and we're going to have a look at a handheld blower. This one in front of us is the Echo PB251. So, what do we have? We have a two-stroke engine, we have 25 cc's, and well, it's an Echo, so it's going to be pretty good. Why would you look to buy one of these or change up to one of these, and why would you choose Echo over another manufacturer? So my reason for doing so is that I've got this old timer here. This is a PB600, and it's really getting on, and so we've had some problems with it. We changed the carburetor and she's running again, but she's getting old, so I thought, well, why not give her a little bit of help? And you know how it is when you just want to blow off just a few bits, and you don't want to put this huge big thing on, and you just want to go and grab something small. And so that's why I considered that. Not a difficult decision to consider Echo, having owned this one, and so you kind of go with what you know. So let's have a look at how this is put together, and see how or if it differs, and some of the features. So let's have a look at that. When you get it out of the box, it's delivered, and in the box you've got the blower, you've got the tube, and you've got a flat tube. They also give you an operator's guide, which seems quite a waste of paper, but there you go, it's for many different languages. And they give you one of these, which if you don't know what one of these is, it's called a combi spanner, for taking out the spark plug, and it's got a handy screwdriver on that end, and I'll show you why you need that in a minute. So that's how that comes, and so you want to assemble it and put some juice in it. But just before we do that, I'm just going to tell you just some of the spec. Okay, so this is the PB251, and obviously it's from the US, and this model isn't a LN, yes, which is the low noise model. It's just the PB251, so it will probably differ from some of the other models that are out there. This is being shipped from the States for Europe. Okay, so this has a 25.4 cc, and it has two-stroke engine. Those of you that don't know about two-stroke engines, you don't need to put oil in it. The oil is mixed in with the fuel, and they can work upside down, they can work at any angle, and that's the usefulness of it. So it's a recoil start, which is here, and the tank capacity is 0.5 of a litre, so that's there, and the mix ratio, which is good for me, is 50:1. It's really useful if you try and keep all your equipment running on the same mix. If you've got trimmers or hedge cutters or blowers, any of your two-stroke equipment, if it runs on different, then you're going to need to have two different cans, one mixed up for one and one for the other. Okay, so the weight of this, without anything connected, that's 4.1 kilos, so it's pretty light, and with everything on, not quite sure what the weight is. It's just, it's just a wee bit heavier. Okay, so there's the instructions. Obviously you want to have a look at those if you've not used one before, and as with my teenage son, who I got to get it out of the box and assemble it. There was a little stumbling block here. There's a locking ring, and so we had to have a little look to see how that goes on. So I'm going to show you how that assembles, and so that you'll know. So tube, and you've got to slide it in like that, and then this ring here, this ring rotates, and what happens is there's a little lock there. So we're just going to get a close-up of that. Okay, you saw the close-up of that, and then the reason they give you the little combi key is that if you want to, this won't come out, and this ring here is in fact now locked, so it's possibly quite a good feature. Other blowers, some of the still ones, some of the tubes, I can remember them just kind of dropping out, and you end up using some tape to hold them in. So they've overcome that with this locking ring. Okay, so that's your short pipe, and you can use it like that, that's fine, and I do use it like that, but equally you can extend, and this has the flat edge there, and that fits on, and then you rotate it, and it doesn't look straight, does it? Go. When in doubt, there we go, brute force and ignorance. So that's your setup, and that's quite nice and short, and very handy when you're holding it down by your side. It works fine. Okay, so on the top we've got an on-off switch, just a standard on-off switch, so we kind of like that, and beside it is the what I would call cruise control. So when you're throttling, instead of your hand being on it all the time, you can set the throttle to wherever you want, and then you just hold the handle. Happy days, and you get on with the work, and push it back forwards, and the revs will come down. Okay, so the switch is not spring loaded like some, so it's either off or on, and of course we all make the mistake where we think it's on and we pull it and it isn't, and then we over choke it and all that sort of carry on. So with this one it's just a standard on-off switch. Okay, so I'm just going to bring the camera in a little bit closer so you can see some of these other bits. Okay, so this is, we've got the recoil starter, here we've got the fuel, and it's indicate with plus oil on it, and that ratio is 50:1. Okay, so you put your fuel in there, and we have a primer bulb here, and when you put fuel in, before you start it, you would set the choke position to on for a cold start. I've been quite impressed so far. I've run a few tanks of fuel through it now, how it start when it's warm without any choke, so that's been good. So you would put the choke on, you would prime it, and then you would pull it, and we'll show some video of it starting and how easy it is to start. Behind here we have the air filter, so you can just take that off, and that comes off. As you can see, it's got some dirt in it, so that's good, and that's a replaceable filter. They probably give you the part number or something in the instruction book. Okay, like most people, I tend to get it to work before reading the instructions. So that goes back on there. There you go. Just give it a push. Brute force again. Okay, so here you've got your spark plug cover, and once again the combi spanner, very useful. It's got a rubber around it, so that water doesn't get in there and dirt. So you can just use that to actually loosen that rubber cover and then pull the cover off. Okay, so this particular model is just a blower. Some of them are blower vacs. This one is just a blower. On the blower vac, you would see an impeller in there which would munch up all your leaves and everything else, and then it would spit it out, and you would have a bag and a big tube that would fit on here. Okay, so other than starting it up, I think that's probably shown you how it is. The shape of the handle it's quite comfortable to hold. It's plastic, it's not rubberized like some of them. I generally wear gloves, and I find that it's not been a problem, and I must admit, I think it looks, the way they've used the black and the orange, it stands out. Certainly it stands out against my old timer, which sits there feeling rather old. The other thing I wanted to say was just about the exhaust. The exhaust is front facing, so it's not blowing on your leg, and it's great. Okay, so that just leaves me with the price. So if you want to come and find this, I bought this from bought it online from a company called mowithus.com, and including free shipping, this was £174. No, £178, beg your pardon, £178 inclusive of VAT. So, you know, when you price it up against the Stills and even the Husqvarna, which is a 28cc, is £260, £270. So £178, free delivery, 25cc, and I think it's an excellent piece of equipment so far anyway. Okay, so this is the Green Man with the back of the van review, so we might do some other back of the van reviews, and if you want to go to the subscribe button and subscribe, that would be great. But from me, from Green Man Ground Care, thank you for watching. Switch it on, choke, press the primer, and choke off. See how easy this is to start. I'm just going to pull it a bit. See that? Even your mum could do it. Or even your granny. Possibly the dog.